Welcome to part two of the video that I was abruptly cut off because I received a phone call. I was sorry about that, but I'm going to continue with how the Greeks got it right, naming their gods Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon, Neptune, and what they really stood for. What was the significance of these names and how prophetic they were as far as the future. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Zeus, who resides on Mount Olympus. Okay, and of course we know now that Mount Olympus is connected to the NASA space program and the space programs of all the other oligarchy, monarchy nations around the world who are participating in the space program, and they built the space station. There's huge space stations up in high Earth altitude, not in space. They can't go into space because of the Van Allen radiation belt, and plus because of the dome. But Zeus, Mount Olympus is the space station, and that's on a upper level. On a lower level, Zeus, Mount Olympus is represented by Vatican City, and of course we know that's run by the Black Pope, and under the Black Pope are his knights, papal knights, and of course the highest papal knights are the Jesuit order, or the Society of Jesus, the Knights of Malta, the Knights of Columbus. Then of course they control the Vatican Bank, and of course they have their Hofhütten court, Jewish people who have always historically served them as far as giving out loans and raising armies and providing arms and weapons for monarchs in history. Okay, and of course under those people, under the Hofhütten today is the Zionist Israeli state. Okay, and the crypto-Sephardic, who are really Jewish, the Saudi royal family. So that's under Mount Olympus. Now under Neptune, Poseidon, we know Neptune, Poseidon, he controls the earth, the surface of the earth and the seas. And that's going to be represented by London, okay, or the crown. Not London the city, but London the crown, okay. And of course that's under the crown falls under it St. James Court, or the Court of St. James, the Bank of England, MI5, MI6, the British East India Company, Mossad, and of course under London comes the Venetian black nobility, okay, who was the main financial arm of the Vatican. So that's going to be Neptune, Poseidon, with London as its center. Then we have Hades, or the underworld. That's going to be represented by Washington, D.C., which is Rome on the Potomac. Coincidentally, Washington, D.C. is a corporation of London, or the Crown. And under Washington, D.C. falls the FBI, CIA, based in Virginia, Federal Reserve, the Central Bank of the United States, which is not owned by the United States. Okay, you have Wall Street, National City Bank of New York, which is Citibank, which in another video I'm going to go in depth about the National City Bank of New York, which basically started all of this madness with globalism and wars and and taking over the world's resources and things of that nature. Started out long time ago, and it created AIC, the American International Corporation, in 1915. Created the Federal Reserve in 1913, and on and on and on. So I won't go into that now, but just for your information, FYI. Also under Washington, D.C., as far as the United Nations, which is in Manhattan, New York, donated on land donated by the Rockefellers. Of course, you have the model for the military-industrial complex, American International Corporation, as I said earlier, 1915. Then you had Bechtel-McCone, which developed after AIC. And of course you have NATO, which is the military arm of the Vatican. And you have the present day now, the national security state, communist state, which basically is a unification of the government, corporations, and the intelligence agencies. So with that, I'm going to say enjoy the rest of your day. Push the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Shalom.